What's up, Rangers? I'm on my way from Cubio to Robigo to do passenger missions, and I was doing some road to riches, scanning Earth like some water worlds for money. I'm a little over halfway there, and when I got there, I was gonna give you an update on the passenger mission situation. So I'll just give you the update now. I found a better system that's within 10 light years. So, and I changed the compartment so I can do seven missions at once. And I think that was it. Oh, and the space station in the new system that's closer has 6 factions that you can run missions for. One of them's the Federation. The other system we had was 60 light years away. It only had 3 factions, and I was only running those 3 missions at once. I only had 3 passenger cabins. So, needless to say, we can make a lot more money now, and it averages about out to like 6 million a trip, or 5, 6 million a trip. And the trip takes 2 minutes, so you can do 30 trips. So it's over 100 million per hour. I haven't done it a whole hour because I was choosing rewards that gave you a big increase in reputation so I can max out my reputation with each faction. And I chose a few engineering materials instead of money and reputation because I figured if I was choosing reputation for most of them, the ones that didn't offer reputation, I chose the engineering materials because it would have been such a little amount of money. If it's not all reputation and it's not all money, then might as well get engineering materials. So I probably did around 15 systems in this road to riches so far. I don't think it's going to be much over 15 million. However many systems, I think it averages out to about a million per system. I mean, this is a system right here, as you can see from 2 water worlds. This one system is going to be around 4, 3 or 4. Usually, when you have 2 Earth-likes or 2 water worlds, you also get some terraformable high metal content bodies, and those are close. Those are like 700,000 a piece, something like that. Here's a high metal content world that is a candidate for terraforming, so this is worth scanning, especially in conjunction with the water worlds and earth lakes, because I always set my expectations too high with earth lakes and water worlds, thinking I'm going to get 2 or 3 million per planet. It ends up being barely a million, so it helps to supplement it with these. But instead of going to Robigo, we're going to get rid of some of the items on these lists. I had a tip off. They wanted me to go out to Pleiades to a crash site on a planet. But I've been to a few of those, and they're never really worth it. I mean, you get a couple engineering materials, one scan data. It's more of, the exploration aspect of the game and accidentally bumping into Thargoids. So it's very interesting and immersive and things like that. But I've already done it. I already know all about the Thargoids. I've already been out seeing Thargoids. It's lost its effect on me. Unless it means I've progressed far enough into the game that it's a good time for me to start Thargoid hunting. But I don't think that's what it means. As far as ships go, we're on the Mamba as the next ship, and then the Python. So not much at all. And after the Python, we're doing the Beluga liner, which is the bigger version of the Orca, which we use to run passenger missions. So that's why I'm not engineering that. But I will engineer the Beluga. It'll be our last passenger ship. The Type 9 is going to turn into our hauler, or transporter, or trader. And the Type 10 is going to be our miner, because the Type 10 has enough weapons components to have outfitted to mine and combat, and it can take a fighter bay, but it has half the cargo space, which is good, because when we mine, I never get more than 300, never ever, and that would take like 10 hours You can pause, shut off the game and go do things, but I'm not interested in 10-hour long mining sessions really. So the Type 10 with its half cargo space and all of its good equipment will be the miner. Python we're probably just using Cell real quick. I don't know, so we're gonna have all three of the powers are gonna have their own ship, end game ships that you keep. So we might still need a small fighter, something small, quick, with really nothing unique or too special about it. Kind of disposable, like the Fertile Ants and the Mamba, because all the end game ships are like big fleet carrier size ships, but they're all combat related. Anybody who bought one of those would think I got a combat ship. They wouldn't think I got a small quick fighter. I mean, they wouldn't think that. Like, they're too big to be combat ships, but that's what they're like labeled as combat ships. So we're gonna need something small. So we'll have the Federal Corvette, the Imperial Cutter. Oh, there is no Alliance ship, but the Anaconda is pretty similar to those two. They're just big, huge ships that do have combat capabilities, but they also have mining capabilities, hauling capabilities. You can carry fighters in them. You can put planetary vehicles. You can do everything in that one ship, pretty much. So if you want something that's going to be small and quick, you're out of luck. You can carry a fighter in it, and you can use the fighter. So, and then we'll have the miner, the hauler, and the hauler will be perfect. The Type 9 we use to mine right now because it's good for nothing, but it's massive cargo capacity. It holds 750 tons or something like that. We use it for mining right now, and when it sucks, because whenever you mine, you get accosted by pirates, and you have no weapons, because it could only have the mining equipment. Speaking of that, I changed the loadout a little bit. Instead of 5 mining lasers, I got the 2 1D engineered mining lasers, and then I got the rest of the mining equipment, the abrasion blasticide and charge launcher. So I want to at least start doing other mining instead of laser mining constantly. And it was because it started, I was thinking about getting another engineered mining laser. I was thinking about getting another engineered mining laser, and then getting the no other mining gear. But there's 3 pieces of mining gear, and I figured we could use them all. So it's a complete mining vessel now with just a little too much cargo and no self-defense, no weapons. This is another high metal content that can be terraformed. The Road to Riches has a slider so you can adjust like the minimum value. So if a planet pays you less than 700,000, it'll ignore it and won't put it on your list. I don't know what much mine's at right in a second. I'm gonna check. So it never tells me about these terraformable metal content worlds. But mine is at 807,000. If it's less than 807,000, it don't show up on the list. And if it's more than 19,000 light seconds away from the nav beacon, it won't tell me about it because I don't want to go in that far. This is the water world. This is a big money. Yeah. So I was gonna finish this list. We got Beta Hydra. That's a Federation system. We got that for ranking up in the Federal Navy. I don't know what the significance of it. Vega, I know they sell a drug that only in the entire game, they're the only people that sell that drug. But you can only buy 15 at a time. And at the highest profit is like 20,000. So it's really a big waste of time. But then we can delete it off the list. It's ridiculous. I don't know how. It's so silly that it would still be in the game. Like unless it's involved in some missions, I don't know. I've never seen it in missions, but I've seen a distillery. It's a unique item, and one space station wanted it for a mission, or they just requested it. They wanted it. A small distillery you could take anywhere and distill in almost anything. I think it was at Alexandria base. I wanted to plant that because they always sell gold and silver and stuff like that for really cheap. The normal price is like 55,000. They sell it for like 3,000. But I don't know if it's other players are always there first or they only produce a small amount. But every time I've been there, the most I've been able to get is 15 of them. That's closer back to the bubble, back to home. I don't know, maybe we won't even visit these systems. Beta Hydra is like an iconic system for the Federation. I should read the description. I think that's the last of this row. No, Rocky Ice World. And here's another water world. This one's kind of far. I might as well start the trip before I look it up. Yeah, 20,000 light seconds. Beta Hydra. Federal systems and the core systems within the Inner Orion Spur. It's restricted, requires permit once you reach the rank of Chief Petty Officer. It was first colonized between 2190 and 2230, alongside Sol, Tau Ceti, Delta Pavonis, and Altair. It was one of the original signatories of the Federal Accord of 2242 and is regarded as a founding member of the Federation. In 2325, following an unexpected loss against the upstart Empire in the pivotal Battle of Akinar, Federal forces were harried by the Imperial People's Fleet from Akinar to Beta Hydra, where the Imperial advance was finally halted. The stalemate between the Federation and the Empire over the system persisted until 2381, when Sirius Corporation mediated a peace treaty between the two superpowers. A century later, the system became known for Ziva Ishel, a bounty hunter of some repute. In the 34th century, Beta Hydra remains one of the Federation's most important systems. I guess it's because of Black Mausoleum, Starport, the Gas Giant, a landfall rocky world, a Class 3 gas giant, Earth-like terraformed called Homeland. That's still in Starport. Jordan's Legacy, a landfall rocky world. Camp Shepherd, a landfall Heimler content world. Camp Schmidt, a landfall rocky world. Beta Hydra 1 and 2, normal worlds. I go to Federation key systems. Elite Dangerous. Key systems. Read this description. The planet Homeland was an early colony and today is one of the most densely settled Earth-like worlds. One of the original 5 signatories of the Federal Accord. Okay. Same thing. if I go to military, the rank, we got that at rank 5, Chief Petty Officer. We are now rank 7, Ensign. You could see what Ross 128 is. That's also on the list. It's a federal system in the bubble. It's a small and equatorial zodiac. It is small in the equatorial zodiac constellation of Virgo the Virgin. It was first discovered by American astronomer Frank Elmar Ross in 1926. Access to Ross 12b is restricted. In 2903, Maurice Grant was assassinated before he could assume office as Ross 128's leader, and the colony delved into chaos. Federal task force arrived in 1905 to restore order and take charge of the system, resulting in the enforcement of a new colonial charter that reclassified the colony as a penal and correctional facility. So we got access to a permit-locked penal colony. Key system and Vega, the drug system. These are weird things to get permits to. Vega is the Federation system, requires permits. The rare commodity, Vega Slim weed, can be purchased at Taylor City. We've already read that a few times. And what's the value of Vega Slim weed? 9,000 credits. And value the farther. So this maybe there's something to it, because it seems awfully worthless to be in the game. Like maybe, like it produces one in an hour, you can only have 15 in your cargo hold, but maybe if you sit there and fill them up and you travel across the galaxy 20,000 light years away, maybe you can get like hundreds of millions or something. I don't know. Because why would they only limit you to have 15? Like, there's got to be something to that, saying for the way you get, the more profit you get. I thought, like, at the place you bought it, it's worth 0. And then the farther away you get, the closer to that 10,000 credit ceiling I just said, you know. We're going to have to check that out. Maybe we should just head to Vega then. Not really in the mood to read any tourist beacons. Summerland. I never looked that one up. Very easy to find good jobs down there. Summerland's an empire system. Headquarters of the defunct military corporation Darkwater Inc. February 3308, the affiliated counterterrorism unit discovered that Darkwater Inc. was not only responsible for training the Neo-Marlinist Liberation Army terrorist group, but it had been holding Emperor Arissa Lavinia Duval captive in a hidden bunker in Summerland on behalf of a client, the Lords of Restoration. The Imperial Guard assaulted Summerland on February 9, 3308 and successfully recovered the Empress before she could be moved to another location. Expecting further hostilities, Colonel Ronan Brock attempted to take over Summerland to fortify Darkwater Inc.'s position, but was unsuccessful, and the corporation was branded a criminal enterprise by the ruling Summerland Patrons Party faction. February 17th, the Empire declared Darkwater Inc. a hostile military target and arranged for Summerland's permit restrictions to be lifted for 3 weeks to allow independent plots to assist in the eradication campaign. When the Battle of Summerland concluded on February 24th, the Empire established a new faction to rule the system and allowed it to take possession of Onyx Storm, the flagship. That sounds like a player faction took over a system NPC faction in the background simulation. Because they said when when a faction controls a system and the system is permit locked, we were reading about states and minor factions of systems. They said that you can get that faction kicked out, and then they'll have a ship and a system nearby, so that they can still issue permits to the system they no longer have control over. That sounds like a players wanted to see that happen and discover how it works, and they did it. Because anything in like 3309, 3306, that's that's after that's because the game, like, where's the clock now? Now is 3310 or something like that. You get the time scale. It clues you in on to when things happen.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Like, say the game's 10 years old,
Surface scan complete.
and our date in the game now is 3310. That means everything that happened after 3300 is real live. Other players involved in everything. Like, we read something about the Vega system, and it said that it happened in 3306. That was something to do with players. Because I know for a fact the date is now like 3309, you know. I don't have any way to check it, but I know for sure. Alright, so let's go to Vega and check on this drug dealing thing. Also an important point to go to Summerland. It's not like a design feature for players to be able to control the factions. You know, you work for a faction. You don't control the faction. So players decided they want to kick the controlling faction out of a system that's permit locked. How do they go about giving the permits? And they found out a ship is put outside. Like, sounds like a big community event. In the nature of finding glitches and bugs, like they tried to break the game by getting a permit lock system under their control. And it took like 10 years for it to happen.
System scan complete.
I better scoop some fuel here. How many jumps away? 4. Not bad.
Frameshift drive charging.
And maybe not. I'm gonna be definitely on accident, you know, just trading like weeks apart. And they were still producing gold and silver for 4 digits instead of 6, 5.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping.
Yeah, but now it's for PC players only. If you want anything that's happening live and in character, you know, you got to be a PC player. So the best you could probably get is having the fuel rat cover ski on consoles.
System scan
Should be like one more jump. We'll have a full tank.
Fuel scooping complete.
Accidentally went around twice. Here she is. Tyrannus. 2 more jumps, right? 2 more jumps. Taylor Port or something like that. I could look up the prices and see about this. Further away, the more profit, but I think it's gonna max out at. They can't even rare commodities right here. I think it's gonna max out at the 9,000 they said. It's hard to find the price. Everything maxes out at 17,000 on this list. I don't know, because it's not. It can't list where it's the price for it at every station. You know, they asked me for a reference system, then they give me a list of all the rare commodities price within the range of Cubio.
Frameshift drive charging.
So it leaves room for debate, room for my opinion. Say Slimweed says say it costs 2,000 and max you can sell it for in this system. I know the max you can sell it for is 17,000 credits. I guess that's at every system. I know this gives you the prices for all the rare commodities at Cubio, and everything maxes out at 17,000 credits. We sell it at Cubio. Now, if I put another system in that's farther away, will Vegas Slimweed be more than 17,000 credits? I'll put Colonia. I know, but that one's remarkably far away from Vega. 17,000, that's the max. Everything's worth 17,000 at Colonia. And 15 times 17,000, that's not worth the trip. Oh my god, did I fuck up? Are we not in a fuel scooping system? I still have some samarium on me, because I knew I wasn't going to complete that mission by the deadline, so instead of donating it for that mission, I was hoping they would have another mission and I could drop it off. It's only 17. I needed 150. It's not worth it to sell it anywhere. The most I could find was 30,000. That's not even worth the trip. If you're gonna have to make 10 jumps to sell it for 30,000, I might as well just sell it for one jump for 25,000. There we are. Fleet carriers and everything here. Like there's hackers in the game, and I was in Shinratra Desra, and somebody tried to interdict me, and there was no way to escape from it. No matter how long I kept it in the center and lit up blue. So I just turned the game off until they left me alone. Fucker hackers. That's why I play PC gamers.
Frameshift drive charging.
Fucking pissed me off. Hostile system.
Fuel scooping.
Taylor City, here we are. Place named Fort Dixon. There should be a tourist beacons here then. That's like a real live place, ain't it? A real military installation in America. Probably a real installation in a lot of places. Pretty common name. Fort Dixon. Now we need some cider. Check Vega off. No tourist beacons here. One signal source. A lot of surface settlements. What are you guys doing? Let's see spaceships. Oh crap, they got me distracted. Oh, so if there's other players interested in the drug trade, maybe there's something I'm missing. 15,000 profit per unit. Like if we could fill up if we could get 700 tons, that would be a beautiful payout. But I heard it can only take 15, and they even specifically said it can only have 15 in your ship. If you have 15 in your ship and you dock, they won't sell you anymore. That's what I read. This guy's been following me for the past fucking 6 hours. Ray Skinner and an anaconda. He's an NPC though. He wants this damn scenario. All the way from Cubio to wherever, halfway out to Rabigo. Followed me, interdicting every system. And I come here, he's here waiting on me. You're a little late there, buddy.
Authorization cleared. Please land on pad 28.
Got my rank from Ensign up to 35%. Haven't done my power play deliveries.
Scan detected.
Burlock McGee. Thank you, partner.
Landing gear deployed.
Solid contact. Power down your engines. You're all checked in, Commander. Enjoy your visit.
$24 million, not as much as I would. Oh, I said 15 systems, so that's pretty good. Almost double,
Incoming message.
almost 2 million a system. I think I sold it at the wrong place though. Our reputation went straight to Allied, maxed out. That's again some gas vents. Huff some gas. Come on, there was some left over. Commodities. You want that? Vega Slim Weed, baby. So they have 28. So it'll take a long time to sit here.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Because I only had space for y'all. Sell the Samarium. Losing a lot of money on it. Buy the Slim Weed. Wish we had more than.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Wish we had more space than that. Like Cubio's not a bad price for it itself. I think 60 light years is how far you have to go before you max out your profit. Let's see, Cubio. Like you can carry more than 15 at once. Yeah, Cubio maxed out at 1,700 credits. I go see if it refreshes. They already have 8. We couldn't take all. We don't have the cargo space, so we got to head to Cubio to get the or we could buy another one. They have nothing but fighters. Well, the hauler. So that's such a low level ship. So Cubio. Maybe the idea was you stop at all of them. You know, you get the 28 or 30 they had here, then you go to another system and get their special drug. I'm at the wrong tab. That isn't. So to put it in perspective, like if you use websites to search for trade routes, ordinary trade routes in the game,
Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
the highest profit you can get from those trade routes is 20,000 per trip. You know, and it usually takes 40 light years, 2 jumps. Jump from one station, you buy something, jumps to the next station, you sell it. That's $20,000 per unit, so it ends up being like $12 million. This isn't as good as that. This is 17,000 per unit. It's close though, it's pretty close. So we would still only have to go 2 jumps. Because this has a 50, so we'll choose 50 light year jump range. We'll look for civilization so we can stop and see if it's really 60 light years. Did we jump yet? Yeah, we did jump, didn't we?
Clear the exclusion zone.
No.
Have a safe trip, Commander.
So we want to get to a system 60 light years away. But I guess I want to be on the way to Cubio too. This is 60 light years.
Frameshift drive charging.
But when you use the website to find those, like there's a lot of inconvenience that would make you choose this first. Like the prices aren't always accurate, and to get to the best trade, you usually have to travel 200 light years away in the beginning. So if this is closer with the guaranteed price, it might just be
Fuel scooping.
as good or better than using the website to find a trade with. There's Ray Skinner again.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hurry up. You won't have time.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Plus, you know, you got the cool factor that you're selling drugs and you're role playing, and the commodities are so rare. One station in the entire galaxy sells it. There's a lot of cool factors and guaranteed to it. Like its price will always be the same. Its location will always be the same. I would definitely do it if I could buy 750 at once. and then I jump 2 jumps away, sell it for easily $10 million per trip. Passenger mission's still a lot better, a lot more profitable, but that's also not nearly as cool. Especially if you bought and sold every drug in the game, that's something to say for something to say for that. You're like an ice cream man, but for drugs, and making a lot of money. Just running out of time. You better hurry. Guy's gonna interdict me. Anakatali, Anakalili. Yeah, the red and the blue bars would. Well, I imagine the red one would have went down. I mean up, but the blue one wouldn't go up. It was stuck and slow frozen. I think both of them were full and wouldn't move, and there was no way I could stop it. Bean terminal. Holy fuck, Ray Skinner again. Didn't I sell it? They really want the slim weed. I thought he wanted some RM. He shouldn't know about my slim weed. Shit, it's only 20 slim weed. It's not nowhere near, not even half expensive. It's a medicine they label it. See the medical symbol? Initially thought to be a plant, this is actually a parasitic life form which bestows immunity to certain biological poisons. Okay, so you can use this to go Thargoid, honey, huh? The Thargoids have corrosion, caustic attacks. That seems like a little more appropriate. Since it's so rare, you can only carry 15. They require it to make Thargoid hunting weapons because of its anti-parasitic properties. But the reliability and the profit margin are good. I might look further into it still. Like if we go there and we can buy 30 and then sit in the space station until they make 30 more, I don't know, that would end up making, you could just go find a regular trade. That would take entirely too long. That would take you like 24 hours to fill up your hold, maybe even longer. When you could find a trade route that pays more in 2 or 3 hours, and you could be making money a lot quicker. That's not going to be worth it. I don't know. I guess it's just for the sake of being silly, I guess. I don't know. It's a novelty thing.
Contact, engines disengaged.
So here we are, 60 light years away. And they're going to pay less than what we paid for it. The settlers of the system would swallow it whole for its slimming and appetite-suppressing qualities. The revelation that the plant is actually a parasitic life form has not reduced its popularity. Those infested have reported a difficulty in removing the parasite once it has been established, but the benefits include an immunity to certain biological poisons. The parasite must be purged before it begins to pupate. The rare good is legal in all markets, and they're paying $1,900. You would lose money. That sucks. That's weird that it's not. What is the point? This has just got to be just some sort of joke. Where are we at? Anakalidi? Anek-alidi? Anek-alidi? Anek-alidi. Okay. Best place to sell Vegas Slim weed from Anakalidi. Oh, this just looks up. The system name you put in is what the price of all the rare commodities will be in that system. It's not a radius or anything. Like if I put Lauma, it's going to tell me how much everything is in Lauma. Which I am. Some things are 1,700 on Lauma, but not Vegas Slim Weed. Vegas Slim Weed is $21.49. Still losing money. I say we just go home then. Cubio is going to pay $1,700 for it. Might as well just go there. Four jumps. We're almost out of time anyway. This has been your boy Super playing Elite Dangerous. Thanks for watching.